he's got a good thing going. So Stoney, this is Matt. Since I've been watching this chat bot and Facebook marketing kind of really take hospitality by storm. I'm involved in a Facebook group. It's got 50,000 people, and Matt stands out as probably one of the premier presenters and contributors to that group. So I reached out to him and said, I want to work with you because you're one of the best. And here we are. So I don't know if you've watched any videos or anything that's attached to his signature, but I'll just let him give his pitch and maybe a quick bio on what he's doing. So.
Okay, cool.
Where are you at in Denver, Stoney?
11th and Lincoln.
Okay. What kind of restaurant?
It's a sports bar.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So my background is I've been in marketing 20 years. I've had an agency 11 years. And I guess it would have been back in 2015, we had about 9 restaurants that we'd been working with for 5 or 6 years and doing everything. A couple of them were sports bars. A couple of them were wing joints, German breweries. And the problem we were running into is that the owner every time said, Matt, we were spending a decent amount of money on each restaurant. Said all of them would always say, well, I'd love to see what that dollar generated. And so we were at the time doing all sorts of stuff, red sponsorships, Bengals, radio, TV, billboards, everything that everybody's done, direct mail. And we got to a point where we were having a lot of success with social media. And I wanted to figure out a way that we could see that somebody did an action and carried through the process. And so I set out back in May of 15. We did a big promotion in April of 15 with National Pretzel Day, one of those great hallmark food holidays that consumers fall for. And did a promotion with that. We saw an $18,000 sales increase in one day, week over week, year over year. The clients loved it. The problem it led to is they started wanting to do a lot of stuff. It was, show your cell phone to get XYZ offer and all that good stuff. And it got to a point where a few weeks into it, I guess about a few months into it, we didn't have the ability to exclude people or include people based on their actions. And that was my problem, was that, guys, yeah, it's great that we did 18 grand on that day in April, but the following weeks, all we did was get the same exact people to come back with a discount. And we had no way of, making sure they didn't see that discount. They saw a different one. And so I set out to find a software that would do that. And I went to the NRA show, National Restaurant Show up in Chicago. Went to a couple others, never could find it. And so I figured there had to be something, and there wasn't. And so I'm not a developer. I'm not a programmer. I learned enough to be dangerous through the last 3 years of doing this. But by late 15, we had a program launched that I called the ROI Engine because the client was always saying return on investment. So just to give him a hard time, I called it the ROI Engine. And when we got it going, it worked pretty well. And then about 2016, late 2016, other restaurants started reaching out to me because they had seen these guys using it. And it was new to me because at that point, I had always had a book of clients. I did whatever the hell they wanted. It was, Matt, we need bathroom signs. Matt, we need a new website. Matt, we need this. And we did it. And at that point, I realized I had something that other people wanted. And so we started doing it with multiple restaurants. So I'll share my screen here and kind of walk you through what the program is, what it does, and kind of why we did it. So can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the concept that I have with all businesses, and I've been preaching this for about 10 years, is the value of having a database. Is that if you as a restaurant or any business don't have a database you can reach out to when you need to drive sales, then you're always going to be dependent on buying somebody else's, which is what it's all a radio station is. They've cultivated an audience, and that when you call a radio station and if you have amazing results from a monthly promotion, next month, the good news is you know where to go to get it. The bad news is you got to pay them again for it. And so I'm a huge proponent of businesses. One, when you advertise, every advertising effort you have should drive people into a database that you can then build. And so that's the concept I've created of create your own radio station, the value of every month systematically growing an audience. So that, like right now, how many email addresses do you guys have now? I guess how many people do you have email, Facebook, places like that?
Facebook, we're about 5.
You cut out from an email, how many?
Probably like 1,200.
Okay. Anything on Facebook Messenger?
No.
Okay. So the value that I see with businesses is that I'm sure you would agree that if you right now you've got 1,100, that if in a year you had 8,000, it would benefit you more in a year on a weekly basis to be able to talk to 8,000 people versus 1,000. And so that's the concept that we go after is how do we help you grow a database each month? And one, track what those people are doing. And then two, bring them back month over month for different promotions, different contests, or just, branding messages. So does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So the concept we do is through this is the program is all predicated off of number one, bribing people to get them into the program. Because the problem most businesses have, they don't have a big enough database because they suck at asking for people's information. And what I always tell people, we've seen that on a small basis, that if you can activate 20 to 25% of your audience in your database every year, and like a restaurant like yours, get them in there 6 to 10 times, the customer's worth a couple $100. What a lot of businesses do is they either ask poorly in the restaurant or they ask digitally with, hey, sign up for our newsletter. Well, nobody gives a shit about a newsletter and all those different things. What we do is we use social media ads to drive people, and also we have in-store elements with this, and then we use different Facebook groups and organic, but to get people into a database. So like, for example, this is a pizza place. Have you ever had this was posted in February, so this ad's been up for about 6 months. Have you ever had a post get 5,500 comments?
Yeah, of course not.
And I asked that, you're not alone. We work with Dairy Queen nationally. Dairy Queen doesn't get 5,500 comments on a post nationally. So what we do is we're really good at one thing, Facebook ads. That's my expertise. I'm not awesome at copywriting. I'm not awesome at creating videos or pictures or crap like that. We're really good at Facebook ads and finding the right people. So this is a one location pizza restaurant. It's a little different than your normal pizza. It's like you probably got Blaze out there, I think, in Denver. And what's the one? Pizzeria Locale. I think I ate at one of those when I was in Denver one time. But it's a kind of a Chipotle of pizza, a little more expensive than normal. It's a sit-down place. But the concept I'll walk you through, we've got examples of all types of restaurants, wing joints, breweries. We just launched a sports bar 3 days ago in New Jersey. But this is a post that started in February. We were promoting that they were now open. Get your free pizza below. Comment your favorite pizza topping, and we'll send you an amazing offer through Facebook Messenger. This does a couple of things. Number one, the organic, as you can see, if I highlight this, I've got 50,000 organic and 53,000 paid. So I'm 50-50. And the reason that's 50-50 is that when Facebook sees 5,000 plus people commenting and then 475 sharing, they show it to more people for free. And so people are down here commenting extra cheese and chicken, sausage, banana pepper, all sorts of things. You're getting a lot of data that your Facebook can use for promotions and that you can use even in promotions as well. What happens next is once they do this is unique. Most people have never seen this, is it drives them to Facebook Messenger for a conversation. So if I go into Facebook Messenger, here's this person that, let's go back when she opted in, February 24th, she opted in. Hey, Shannon, hope you're ready for a free craft pizza. Type yes below. She typed yes. She gave us her email address, and we delivered an offer to her. Buy one, get one free craft pizza. She got her offer. She was reminded, and ironically enough, she never came in. So this was May. She didn't do anything. June, she didn't do anything. And then we asked her, hey, do you want this again? She said yes. And then here she is. Let's see. This is Monday. So this lady opted in February 24th and came in this past Monday off of our reminder system. That's the one thing I found with people is that this is an extreme example. That's 6 months, 5-6 months. But what we find with people is that people get busy, people forget, this isn't their top priority. But what happens is they come into the restaurant with a redeemable offer. And in this case, she came in, she redeemed it. Her net bill was 12 because they entered the net amount. So that means she spent about 19 gross. And at that point now she gets put into a different program based on what she spent. And I'll go to the back of that to give you an example. So this is a dashboard that this particular client, all of our clients have, that shows them the results. So typically we get a huge bump when we start off. Our goal is about 500 a month, like I mentioned earlier. You can see we did 2,500 contacts in about 6 weeks from February to March. And then from there, we get down to where we're going to level out between 400 to 500, July 424. We're already at 76 for August, so we'll hit 400 to 500 for August. And everything's tracked, so we can look and see that down here, 27.55% of the people that have enrolled have redeemed an offer. 1,213 the original offer, 128 a follow-up offer. And then I can look at the very bottom and see some cool data, how much they've spent. They've gotten 20 grand in revenue from this just on the offers. This client has actually done some different promotions in between that don't have trackable metrics, more or less branding, because we don't want to drive people in only on coupons. We want to try and get them in for different reasons. And then the back end is pretty damn robust. I won't walk you through this whole thing because it could make your head spin, but it basically walks through. We can see every element of the campaign. I can look and see, for example, if I go to this, because this is an important metric, I can see how many days people are redeeming. So, for example, if I look in June, July, I can look and see that in July, 58% of the redemptions came 0 to 3 days when people opted in. So it drove them in instantly. 14%. I go back here and look at my reminders where that lady just came from. I can see that when I do our reminder sequence that we launched 60 days afterwards, I'm getting between 13 to 14%. 7, we had May hasn't hit yet. Those will hit the whole month of August the way it's laid out. But we're getting about 14% are coming back, which is cool because when you look at that, here's people right here that had died. We already paid to acquire them back in February, March, April. A lot of businesses, when people don't come in, they forget about it. They're gone. Well, our program gets people. We have two. I look at it one way: either get off our list or come in the restaurant. And so you can see here, just in these 60 days period, the people from February, March, April, probably in the ballpark, about 200 people have come into the restaurant that had forgotten about the program. And so what happens is we're consistently driving people into the program. Now, what we use that's different than what you've probably seen is we use Facebook Messenger and email. So all these people right here, these 4,481 people that came from this Facebook post are in Facebook Messenger subscribed. And then we also have them in email marketing. We use a program called Drip Email. So we have them in both places. We get 30 to 40% open rates on our email. We get big time 80, 90% open rates on our messenger sequence. So these are subscribers you can see as it grows every month that we can talk to. So just to give you an idea of what Messenger is. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So just give you an idea of what Messenger is. Here's just to show you the stats, because most people have never seen this. Everybody's seen email stats. I'm sure your email stats are like everybody else. You probably get somewhere between 10 to 25% open rates. Is that about right?
That sounds about right. So
here's Messenger. So this is that program that when it kicks off, this has been sent to 4,618 people. 4,615 have opened it. I mean, that's ludicrous. Only 3 people have not opened the original message we sent to them. And of those people, 4,391 have responded, which means they answered the question. They gave us their email. And so seeing this, I mean, I don't know how old you are. You look about my age. I've been doing email marketing since 99. I'm 42. Back in 99, 2000, 2001, when I was in marketing then, I also owned a boat and RV dealership. When we would send an email to 1,000 people, we would get 70 to 80% open rates. We would get 400 to 500 people reply back, which I never forget. One of my first emails I did for our boat dealership, this was before automation. I remember sending it out we had got Arctic Cat ATVs and we had this new line of bass boats, and I sent it out. The next thing I know, within a day, I had 400 responses, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to respond to all these. And back in early days of email, that doesn't happen anymore. You send out an email right now, you're lucky if anybody responds. Only people that respond that back are, hey, please take me off your list.
Right.
Messenger is different in that these people are having they don't get this from other places. I train right now. I've got about 100 agencies in my program worldwide, and there's about 50,000 agencies in the United States. 99% of them do not know how to do this, don't understand it. I mean, I work with Dairy Queen nationally. I work with 5 large franchises nationally. One's an international milk company in the grocery business. Their agencies can buy and sell me every day. They don't know how to do this stuff. They've never looked at it because they're still focused on emails, and now they're doing boosted Facebook posts, and they're doing SEO, and they're doing radio and TV and billboards still. My team last year, I spent 93 grand last year on myself and 2 other people on my team only learning this stuff, Facebook ads and Facebook Messenger. And of course the email is the easy part, but it's pretty cool because you can see the journey that people take. and see how many of the people come into the flow and really see how they come through. Like I can go in here and look at these, these people's answers. So here's 1,241 people that have redeemed, and I can look and see, and this goes into the back end as well, but I can see every one of them, what their spends were. I want to look at every single one of them. It'll just keep listing them. And it's unique from a standpoint of the tracking.
Stoney, how you doing on time? You said 15 minutes.
I got just a couple more minutes.
Okay, so that's what I've got. That's what we do. Have you ever seen anything like it?
I'm sorry, what was?
Have you seen anything like this? What do you think?
No, of course not. Oh my God, the open percentage is like unbelievable.
Well, think about when you get that ding on Messenger, it's just a common reaction to open it. So that,
sure.
And if it's something you like or want, or people that are interested in your restaurant, they're going to stick with that. So.
Right.
And what we do is on a monthly basis, we put together promotions. Like right now, I've got a client whose 15-second little video they've got of them splashing some wings around in this thing is going out this week. There's no offer. There's no call to action. It's just, hey, it's August. It's time for some wings. Football season's coming. Come check us out. And then next week we'll do a promotion with dinner. Then week after that we'll do a kids eat free. So you can do whatever, but the biggest element is that you've got an audience that's listening and that's having a conversation with you. So you might as well take advantage of it.
Gotcha. Well, how much?
Scott?
This program is $12.50 a month, and then plus the Facebook ad spend. I think Matt recommends at least spending $500 on the Facebook ads. Is that what you normally start off with, Matt?
Yeah, about that. Because what the Facebook ad spend is the gas that you're putting in the car. That if you buy the program for $12.50 and you spend $100 on Facebook ads, well, you're going to get 100 opt-ins and you're going to run out of gas. You spend $500, you're going to get 500 to 600 opt-ins. So we typically look for half or a little around half. And at that point, what's cool about it is we can look and see at the end of 2 or 3 months, once we get about 2 months of data, we can figure out, okay, how much does it cost us for an opt-in? How much does it cost us per redemption? And at that point, we sit down with the client and say, hey, here's what, every time we spend $1, here's what it returns. What do you want to spend? How many, you want to get 500 opt-ins a month, 200 opt-ins? You want to get 2,000? And at that point, you just kind of go from there. It's got scalability where you can turn it off and turn it on and get better results.
Okay. Do you have this all in kind of a deck you can send me? I think I have a business partner. I think I can explain it to him.
I can send you this recording as well.
Oh, awesome. That would be perfect. Thank you.
Problem.
This is very interesting. We did just sign on with the new marketing agency, but I don't know that this would it work well with them. They're kind of doing not obviously not doing this exactly, and we have different goals with them. So let me talk to Will and probably get back to you, Scott, within a week or so.
Okay.
That work?
Good. Well,
Perfect. Yeah. I'll upload this online and send you guys a link.
Okay. Yeah. Matt, this is amazing what you have here. There's no other marketing tool that's going to get that kind of open success. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, my background, like I said, I've been in marketing 21 years. And I remember back in 99 when I was in radio, 99 to 03, we had a boat dealership and I sold radio. The part that I hated the most was walking into the business like you and going, hey, Stoney, did your ads work? And typically the answer is, hell, I don't know, dude. Nobody walks in here and says, I heard your radio commercial. And this gives you the ability to say, like in this dashboard, and I'm guessing you've probably not, most people have never seen this, is that, hey, we know that 4,400 people opted in. We know that 1,300 or so walked through the door and they spent 20 grand. And this is a net for a small pizza place. So, you guys are going to have an average ticket bigger than that, but do you guys have anything now that you use that's measurable like this?
How do you mean?
Like as far as knowing that, hey, we spent this much, it got this many clients, and this many walked in the door and spent this much?
Oh, you know the answer to that. The ROI on all that stuff is nearly impossible to figure out.
And that's where this came from. And it was funny. My client, Nick, who's still a friend of mine, 6-7 years ago, he's an old German guy. He'd go, Matt, I can't walk into US Bank and deposit likes. As great as it is at our Facebook page,
Right.
5,000 to 39,000, they aren't giving me a loan or cash on likes. And that's where this literally came from. He said, prove that this stuff works. And that's just what we did. We went through this process, and it's been a pretty cool journey.
Sweet. Well, nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm out. I'll get in touch with you, Scott. Thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, guys. See you, Stoney.
Okay.
Okay.